that has the green light from every position for this Notre Dame team.
And she's not a secret anymore. The ACC knows about her ability to be a focal point for Notre Dame, but even so, as they've keyed in on her, she's found ways to succeed.
Carmachon getting in on the action early for this Virginia Cavaliers team, and that's what they want to do. They want to get out in front and be able to hold on to them.
Yeah, and part of what Virginia does so well in competing with top opponents is forcing mistakes out of them. And when you can get your opponent on the ropes early on, put some points on the board, and really force the opposition to press like this, it can help a ton.
Another big point for the Cavaliers with graduate student Reagan Trueblood back at the service line. Part of the 3 transfers for this Cavalier team coming in. University of Illinois Springfield, the D2. Monson up over to Palazzolo off the block. Trueblood sets it. Back to Wilson, kept alive. Drunick up to Palazzolo. Gamelian out for the dive. Trump came in from the back line, now up back over to Palazzolo. Drunick behind the back to Trump. UVA starting on a 3-0 lead. Trueblood continuing on the service run for Virginia. High IQ play from Addie Monson to let it go out of bounds to get Irish back to the service line. Bring in Macy Alexander, the serving specialist and sophomore from Portland, Oregon. That's something that Coach mentioned to us in her meeting with us earlier this week, was having to be aggressive on the serve for Coach Rockwell.
Yeah, it's going to be important to get off to a good start in this one, and the service in general, even on the receives, an experienced player like Hattie Monson, who receives the ball so much and can tell from the angles when it's going out, when to play it, and how to play it. That's really important in the early going of matches like this.
Blocked at the net, kept alive. Wilson off the deflection of Palazzolo. Virginia back on the attack. They will take advantage. Kate Johnson, the sophomore defensive specialist, in to serve. Monson up to Palazzolo, will just get it over. Miscue. Irish are able to capitalize, though, on contact from the net against Bohr.
A little bit of sloppiness on both sides right there. Not a great pass there from Notre Dame and Palazzolo on the back line there, but Virginia couldn't quite capitalize. Irish will take it.
Wilson quickly finding an opening to get a kill. Gamelian back to serve. Drunick's got to go chase it down. Neitz passes it to Trump. Cavaliers allowed to set up their offense. Palazzolo from the back. Borum. Neitz goes out to lay out for it. Drunick while running. Just gets it over. Trueblood sets it perfectly to Jan, who sets it down.
Marisa Jan finding that soft spot in the middle of the Irish defense. Taking a little off at the last moment. Great adjustment on the fly, and Virginia looks very comfortable in its attack early on.
Service error for the Cavaliers. They're 131st of the year, and something Coach Wells talked was one of their strong suits was they were serving well, and that's the way that they can distinguish themselves here in the ACC. Wilson put too much on it, goes out of bounds. Irish now back within 2. That's back Sydney Palazzolo to serve. Barham gets it across the net. Jurnick sets it to Lang. Jurnick behind the back to Trump. And it's a hard kill for Lucy Trump, the sophomore, who was really taking that next step.
Yeah, nicely done all the way around from the Irish to set it up, keeping the ball in close proximity to the net. And Lucy Trump can take a full swing. The sophomore converted starter who's gone more into a back and forth role with the bench this season. She can get it done.
Irish able to capitalize. Now back tied with the Cavaliers. Palazzolo continuing on her service run. Wilson has it blocked at the net. Trueblood sets to Jan. A light touch from McDowell keeps it alive. Jurnick tried to set McDowell. Trump gets it over the block. And that's that step forward Coach Rockwell talked to us about. For Lucy Trump, she needed to find a way to get over these bigger ACC blocks. And right there, doing it beautifully with the light tap.
Yeah, that's a way to do it. Get creative with it. Charity McDowell, a great recovery after she was a little bit out of sorts going into a block. Found a way to keep the ball in front of her, and Notre Dame gets rewarded.
Quickly, Jan sets down the 5-0 scoring run of the Irish.
Young been active in the middle of that UVA attack so far. That time going right between Monson and Palazzolo. And back and forth we go early on. Virginia and Notre Dame, you can tell both these squads are hungry coming off emotional 5-setters.
Jurnick up to the freshman Lang. Trueblood to Jan. Jurnick came in, just got fingertips on it. Goes out of bounds, and offense very clearly running through Jan right now.
Yeah, Young, so much experience coming into a match like this, can really help out and stabilize and settle the nerves going on the road like this for Virginia, a graduate student who brings plenty of experience to the table, especially within the ACC.
Hard kill from Sydney Palazzolo from the back line.
Well done by Palazzolo. She'll attack you from every angle. That time Virginia a bit late to set up the block, and you saw Madison Morey laying out at the feet of one of the referees. That's something that Coach Wells talked about. Virginia is going to go after every single ball that can possibly be played.
Going after every single ball here. Not to their avail, though. Monson will now go back, and something Coach Wells talked about was her aggressive nature with her team. She was very open and honest with us. We have the worst RPI in the conference right now. We are fighting every single point like it's our season, because we don't know how much longer we'll be playing and whether we'll have that postseason expectation.
Yeah, and how do you keep that mentality going? Because it's really easy to get bogged down in the nature of the season and look at the record and look at how you're stacking up with other teams. No, you just have to focus on yourself, and Coach Wells has done really a tremendous job instilling a mentality of culture here at Virginia, focusing on cues such as how you huddle, how you chase after the ball to keep that culture going, even in games.
And it's coach talk. She talks about it oftenly, coaches do, but she provided a point to that, which was behavior. How does the behavior work? Irish able to capitalize on the point from the freshman.
There's Lang coming down that left side, going right through the block, right at Coach Wells. And Notre Dame providing the energy too. Going to be one of those matches here tonight.
Jurnick up to Lang, has it rejected at the net. And gets it across, but is unable to find the hardwood. Irish bringing back Alyssa Manitsis to come in to serve. Freshman, defensive specialist. Stands in at 5 feet. One of the smaller players within the conference. But that's what makes her so deadly, is her serve.
And how well she sees the game, too. Something that Coach Rockwell has told us about. Her ability to figure out how the defense might be lining, what might work with her serve. And that time she put it in a perfect spot. Cavaliers couldn't respond.
Blocked at the net by Tarnoff and Palazzolo. Blockade goes back up. Manitzis tried to go running for it. Virginia coming out strong with Abby Tatter.
There is Tatter. Like we talked about in the open, Virginia is so enthusiastic to have her back for this one after missing Georgia Tech. Such a close 5-set match, and with the numbers that Tatter can put up and the energy she can provide, having her in a match like that, who knows, could have pushed Virginia across the finish line there as they pick up the block against Tarnoff coming in there. Well done by a well-hided Carvaccio. And we're even at 12.
Thompson down to the knees. Palazzolo over the block, quickly sliding in his Trueblood. Wilson. Junik's gonna try and go for it at the net. Off the deflection, Abby Tatter makes her presence known. So those opportunities in the middle, you look at Jan, and then you look at Tatter, both middle blockers. That's where their offense has been coming, through the middle of the court. Junik up to Palazzolo, can't get it over the net.
And what makes Virginia so impressive, to your point, is that unlike Notre Dame and Sydney Palazzolo, there's not one player that you can focus on and key on and try and limit. And Virginia has a diverse cast of characters that can step up at any given moment in a game, and in this instance right now, it's the middle of the attack that's really working for the Cavs, and they're taking advantage.
Trump flying through the air is able to get the kill.
Early 3 kills for Lucy Trump. And that time she just switches the script at the last moment, going left of the block toward that corner. Trump's off to one heck of a start. She was the best attacker last time Notre Dame was in this building against Louisville. She's continuing.
Junik up to Palazzolo. Trueblood keeps it alive. Camillion passes to Carvaccio. Junik tries to go over herself. Trueblood back to Wilson. Wilson trying to get it over the net. Unsuccessful. Virginia able to pick up their 15th point. That brings us to the media timeout. We're going back and forth in South Bend. A good one coming up. Rockwell was recruiting against Wells back in their days when she was back at Penn State as their recruiting coordinator, and they were very open and honest with us. We would be at the same sidelines recruiting the same player, and when we talked about Wells and how we had the conversation about it, well, Wells said you were really recruiting each other. She's like, I know exactly the pair she's talking about right there, and it just triggered it right on her head.
It's really an interesting story because, you know, naturally you think about the competitive aspect of it and trying to find the same players and build your programs, but at the same time, these are 2 young coaches just trying to make it in this ACC. It's a tough conference to coach in, no doubt, especially coming in young like these 2 have, but they've done one heck of a job building these programs up and doing it together. They've really developed a strong relationship, and it's fun to watch them grow.
Gorham gets it across. Junik to McDowell. A joust at the net. Goes Palazzolo in Notre Dame's way.
This crowd really starting to get into it at Purcell Pavilion. Haven't mentioned it a whole lot so far, but they've got the pink Go Irish sign. They've got the pink pom-poms as well. And ever since that timeout, there's been a re-injection of life inside this building, willing Notre Dame to even the score.
Dig pink here in South Bend. Trump. Borum. Able to get it is Virginia. Get up by 1 point. Millian gets it across. Drunick chasing it down to McDowell. Millian comes in with a pancake. Up to Trump. Off the deflection. Lucy Trump, the sophomore, having herself a night.
Lucy Trump continuing to have success in this first set. That's 4 kills for her now, 3 digs and a .500 hitting percentage. She's been efficient, she's been active. She's helped out as Sydney Palazzolo started a bit slow so far.
Our serve it into the net. Bring Addison Morey in to serve for the Cavaliers. Senior defensive specialist from Marietta, Georgia. Palazzolo over treating on the receive. Laying off the deflection of Trueblood. Freshman able to get the kill.
Really impressive, like you said. Palazzolo had to move backward on the receive, but Nicole Drunick, something that Coach Rockwell has talked about, being an active setter, finding ways to create even out of her own comfort zone and setting up Lang perfectly.
Borum able to power through the block. However, whistle will come after it was 4 touches called against the Irish. Drunick up to Trump. Monson there protecting from the block. Laying off the deflection again. Freshman using power to work it through.
That powerful swing from Ava Lang. That has been increasingly prominent on that left side as the first set has evolved and developed. 18-18, it is tight here in South Bend.
Drunick up to Palazzolo. On in motion. Drunick behind the back, setting for Trump. Has it rejected, gets a fist on it. It cuts over somehow. Drunick behind the back to Tarnoff. Gamillion goes to lay out for it. She'll just get it over. Irish allowed to set up their offense. Laying off the deflection, just out of the reach of Borum. A hard-fought point for the Irish.
What a sequence right there, all starting with Lucy Trump's ability to keep the play alive, and then there's Lang again. Going right off the top of the block. Virginia scrambling in search of a defense, but Lang coming alive. 3 kills in the last 4. She's heating up at the right time for the Irish.
Drunick back up to Lang again. On the deflection, the freshman, now her 5th kill of the night. Timeout for Coach Wells, who wants to talk it over with her team as it's starting to slip away. Irish on a 4-0 scoring run. Shannon Wells comes back to her home state, and for more, we send it to the 3rd member of our team, Darren Mabry.
What a full circle moment for Shannon Wells tonight. The Fort Wayne, Indiana native, just about 2 hours from South Bend, who even told us she was a Notre Dame football fan growing up. But guys, she had to get 20 extra tickets for her family and friends tonight as they're all gathered around behind this UVA bench to see her living out her dream. But a very special person to her that she highlighted was her college coach, Katie Lawyer from University of Southern Indiana. And she took us back into their journey together. And she told us that her sophomore year, they achieved below a 500 record. But in just 1 season, they were able to turn that record around, making school history at 27-4. And she says since then, she's the reason she coaches volleyball. She refreshes her love for the game. And this moment tonight between the two of them is something so important to her. But she finished up by telling us that South Bend is by means not the easiest to travel to, but moments like these are awesome and make it totally worth it.
Yeah, these are the moments you live for. talking to her. She's a very strong advocate for being a woman coach in the NCAA, and the line that stuck out to me in the conversation we had from her: I was a D2 player. I didn't know it was possible to go to the Power 5. Well, Coach Wells, you're here. Welcome, and you're doing a pretty damn good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Just follow the dream. Stay honed in on it, stay focused, and realize that your support network is so strong. It's so key at a young age, like what Coach Wells has been through, developing from a player to a coach. Her support network, which has followed her to South Bend here tonight, so important in developing into a coach in the ACC and doing what you've always dreamed of. It's really special to see her making her move and making things happen at Virginia. She's really built this program up well ever since arriving, and she'll only continue to do great things in the landscape of college volleyball.
O.C. Trump serves it over for the Irish. Jan keeps it alive. Borum unable to find the hardwood. Irish now 3 points away from capturing this first set. And quickly another timeout from Coach Wells and her team. Didn't like what she saw.
And Notre Dame now on a 9-3 run since that immediate timeout when it was 15-13 Virginia. And in that North Carolina reverse sweep last week, it was an opportunity to huddle up and communicate and talk about staying in the moment, finding your moments. That was so key for Coach Rockwell and the Irish. This team communicates so well with each other. Coach Rockwell doesn't usually even have to get involved in these huddles. The players know each other so well and feel so comfortable communicating with one another. And it seems like it's worked. Coming out of the timeout, Notre Dame has once again caught fire and is in position to potentially take the first set.
Ava Lang, the freshman, with 5 kills tonight, has been overpowered.
And she's gotten better as the first set has moved along here. Attacking, coming down that left side, racking up 5 kills on 8 total attempts, 500 hitting percentage for her. As we'll take a look at her night so far. Got off to a slow start, wasn't much of a factor through the first half of this opening set. But she has found ways to penetrate that UVA block consistently, whether it's going through it, going over the top, going off the edges of it. Ava Lang, skillful player that can step up in the big moments for Notre Dame. She's proved it already in her first season, and it seems she's doing it again tonight.
Ava Lang, the freshman, has stepped in and taken on that other production role. You have Sydney Palazzolo, but then you also have to look, where do you else turn? Turn to Ava Lang.
Yeah, Palazzolo, like you said, a little bit of a slower first set, below her standards with 2 kills on 10 attacks. That's where Lane comes in, like you said, one of those other newcomers.
Lane chases it down. UVA will just get it across. Trump has it go out of bounds. Point will go towards Virginia quickly. Coach Rockwell goes to the challenge card, and she goes to talk to the second referee, Robert Kyle, who will now go to the monitor to take a look at it himself.
Notre Dame seemed very confident that there was a deflection. They were all smiling and gesturing over to the sideline after that one.
Take a look right here on Jan. Watch the finger right hand. And watch the reverb. I think that gets that right hand right there, Tyler.
It's tough to tell. You're looking for not only contact with the hand, but the way the ball spins off potentially.
Yes. Is it conclusive, you think?
Not from that angle. You would think that.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, this might be the one right here. That's tough. The spin certainly doesn't change. Oh, I think coming back there, when you reverse it back, I think I might have seen a little change in the spin, but it's tough, and I wouldn't be surprised if this one takes a bit longer.
Official Robert Kyle still down at the monitor to take a look at it. Initial ruling, no touch. Like we always talk about, gotta be conclusive, gotta be enough there trying to overturn it, but almost emphatically, Lucy Trump went up, had the hand up, and looked right to her coach, almost giving the dollar sign.
Yeah, and then all her teammates were doing the exact same thing. Drunick was in position to see it right in the middle, up close to the net. But like we said, still it's a long review here. And this is an important part of the first set. You're talking about a 23-19 Irish lead versus a 2-point deficit for Virginia. UVA point here would certainly put the Cavaliers in position to potentially strike back and take the set. We'll see.
Robert Kyle off the monitor. Point will stay with Virginia. Challenge unsuccessful for the Irish. They will drop to only one remaining in the contest. An early use of that challenge here in that first end. When don't have it to go your way, now you're down to one just for the remainder of the match.
Yeah, it's an aggressive play there from Coach Rockwell. Smelling some blood in the water and potentially trying to seize that first set and trusting in her player's judgment, but it's not quite there. Maybe not the angle Notre Dame was looking for on the review.
Quickly, Tatter sets it down. Virginia takes the time and able to reap the benefits.
Yeah, that block is what started this first set so well for Virginia. The Cavaliers opened up that early lead, and it's making a return with Tatter as well as Jan in the middle.
Got 3 blocks so far for the Cavaliers. Directly going over. Irish able to pick up a big point.
Cole Drunick just knows when to bust out that left-handed dump. Saw over her shoulder the Virginia defense scrambling into order, recognized the open space right down the middle, and there she is with her second kill to go with 11 assists.
Drunick chases it down. High set over to Palazzolo. Joe has it rejected. The Irish now sitting at set point here in set 1 with Alyssa Manitsis. Back to serve. Trueblood up to Tatter. Off of Palazzolo's forearm, and Virginia fights to see another day here in this set. Monson up to Drunick. Tarnoff in motion. Manitsis came in sliding, just crossed over the halfway line.
Tough break there for Manitsis, but she'll certainly shake it off. Notre Dame still just a point away. Virginia trying to close in a little bit here. Momentum on the side of the Cavaliers late.
Drunick up to Trump, finds the opening, and Lucy Trump from the back line comes flying in. Irish takes set 1 here in South.
In their offense.
Trueblood back for the Cavaliers, and she gets it over to start this second set. Trump comes in contact with the net. Virginia able to stay on the attack to start. Virginia using the top of the net to their advantage. Dowell gets it across. Sent to Manitsis. Back to Trump, who finds an opening.
Heard that a few times tonight, haven't we? She's finding all the openings for Notre Dame. 6 kills now, game high. More than double any Virginia player tonight. That time slicing right through the block. 6 kills, 5 digs. Already double-double watch here for the sophomore Lucy Trump.
Team leading 6 kills right now. Trueblood quickly to Tatter, who makes no mistake.
It's Tanner on the other side who's led the Cavaliers. 4 kills, 2 blocks as well, along with Gigi Carvaccio.
Service error for Virginia, gets Irish back tied. Send their libero and team captain Hattie Monson to the service line. Quickly set down by Tanner.
Tanner adding so much as we expected to this Virginia attack. She just doesn't waste a whole lot of time. No hesitation in that attack, knows what she wants to do with the ball and puts it in the perfect position.
Bruneck up to Trump, who works it through the block. Her 7th now of the day. Borum. Drunick up to Palazzolo, using the top of their net. Virginia will just get it across. Tarnoff tried to sneak it in the back corner, unsuccessful. Virginia allowing it to go out of bounds. Johnson, the sophomore, Gainesville, Florida, gets it across the net. Drunick tried to dump it off. Lang puts too much on it. Cavaliers starting to pull away here in this second set. Johnson serves it out of bounds.
Both teams maybe a little bit amped up going into the second set right here. We're seeing Notre Dame on a lot of these attacks, sailing it. Virginia with a couple service errors. Both sides just need to calm down a little bit. Look to your leaders and look for a way to slow the heartbeat, settle into the second set. It's a big one.
Trump comes in sliding, can't get there in time, and for both these two teams, they've got young presences. For Virginia, they've got 7 newcomers for their team, and then on the other side for Notre Dame, they have 7 as well. So you talk about it, 14 players on both sides that are new to their programs, and we're really, you look at it for both these two teams, this is really only the 3rd weekend of ACC play for them, and still trying to figure it out, how to travel, how to play up against this high-level competition.
Yeah, and figure out how to hold yourself back a little bit as well, because when you're a young player, you want to prove yourself and make your mark early. And so many times in a game like this, you want to make that heroic play or series of plays that gives your team the second set and puts you back in position to take the match. And sometimes you just have to rein that in. Trust that your teammates can do it as well. It doesn't have to revolve completely around you, and that's how you avoid those unforced errors and pressing that takes place.
Alexander gets it over. Trueblood went searching for it. Now Notre Dame within 1. The sophomore in control. Trueblood up to Jan. Oh, deflection. Virginia settles it down to get themselves back onto the attack. This goes down to a knee to dig it out. Trump has it fly out of bounds. See, she also came over the net on her attack. Now, 7th service error for this Virginia team, and service line just hasn't been where they've been able to find themselves and be able to compound on these runs.
Yeah, and it's a big reason why Virginia couldn't put away Notre Dame after going up 6-2 in the first set, and now in danger doing the same thing after the 9-6 start here. Got to avoid those mistakes. Virginia, we talked about, they capitalized so much on opposing errors. Well, you can't do that when you're making mistakes yourself.
Lucy Trump sets it down herself.
8 kills now for Trump. She just keeps on going. The Virginia block late to develop there on that left side. And Trump all over it.
Trueblood dumps it off herself. Palazzolo off the deflection. And will pick up the kill. So take a look at that service error. One service error. Now Irish, at that moment, were able to get 2 points back. Now you're back tied. Service error is really, if you got to look at, is how Notre Dame's been able to capitalize.
And it snowballs so quickly if you're Virginia. If you can't recuperate and flush the mistake, Notre Dame's coming at you with some really dangerous outside hitters. Trump's having a great night. Palazzolo can do so much, as we've seen throughout the season. And if you don't get your mind right and get back to playing clean volleyball for the ensuing points after the service errors, you blink and it's 9-9.
Is able to get the point. Get Trueblood back to the service line. Dowell sneaks it by Borum. Back tied at 10. Drunick. Up to Trump. Blocked by Trump. Has it go out of bounds, though. Back and forth for these two teams here in this second set, as we saw in the first. Drunick. McDowell. Trump, hard attack, has it rejected at the net by Borum and Tatter. Coach Wells, our team take a breath here. Breath proves to be successful. Hecht continues dominant at the service line. Ellen up to Wilson. Has it deflected. Virginia up by 4. Hecht, the transfer from Texas A&M. Palazzolo launches one at the defense of Virginia, and they watch that go into the seats.
And Lang had been having a bit of a hard time receiving the serve from Hecht, but that time Hecht left a little more toward the middle, allowed Hattie Monson to receive, put a perfect pass on it, and it ultimately set up Notre Dame for the kill.
Borum has it blocked at the net. Tarnoff sets it down with the fingertips.
Tarnoff ready to react right there. First attack doesn't go her way, but she's still right in the perfect position and takes full advantage of it. And here comes Notre Dame again.
Trueblood. Up to Tatter, and Virginia able to have themselves leading by 3 at the media.
They've stuck with her, and it's paid off so far. Virginia now has a winning record, 8-6. Had a tremendous stretch in non-conference play to open up the season, and now looking to build on that heading down the stretch in ACC play.
Drunick to Trump. A million trying to go laying out for it. Can't get there in time, and Coach Wells talked about how tough this conference is, and to be able to string together wins is huge, and for her to come in and implement her system and have the team buy in, that's huge. Wilson gets it over the block for Virginia. Get back up by 3 again. Johnson has it get over the net. And Lang able to have the deflection. Irish get back to the attack. Trueblood up to Jan, gets it over using the angle. Oh, a whistle comes from the second referee, Robert Kyle. Selena Rockwell not happy with it. Plead in her case, and a little bit of a disbelief on the whistle that came. Bourne serves it out of bounds, and Irish able to bring in their serving specialist, and and now 8 errors for the Cavaliers on the line.
Just can't afford that, and the vast majority of those coming in this second set, but Virginia still holding on to that slim lead.
Trueblood up to Jan. Palazzolo to Hatch. To Bourne. Tried to go lightly over the net. Couldn't climb over. Irish back within 1, and the Irish on the other side, it's been the attacking errors for them. Aitzis gets it over herself. Thrunick in motion. However, UVA able to pick up the point. And they're going to say the ball came in contact with the top of the Jumbotron. Oh, our cameraman Gary able to come away with a little present.
What a play. He can do it all. But yeah, that was right up against that shamrock on the bottom of the big video board here. Incredible sequence to keep the play alive there on both sides, and it ends up with the cameraman. We've seen some strange happenings tonight.
It is October the 13th.
Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th. I'm just saying, I'm adding on. I'm adding on.
Who knows?
It is that spooky month of the year.
Better not see any black cats running across the floor tonight.
Whew. Just sends me a shiver down my back as I think about it. Irish can't get there in time, and Virginia now up by 3. Thrunick behind the back to Trump, off the deflection. Irish trying to turn the page.
Number 10 there for Lucy Trump, not even done with the second set. She's made her presence known, and look at Virginia. 3 different players laying out for it. There could be something to be said about how important conditioning is when you commit yourself to going after the ball that aggressively. It adds a little bit of energy requirement, but Virginia feels confident in taking on that role and taking on that identity as a team. And I think to do that, you have to really stay in tip-top shape with your breath and conditioning as these sets grow late, no question.
Timeout for Notre Dame, who wants to talk things over with Salima Rockwell. And tonight, the Irish wear pink, as it is their annual Dig Pink game here inside Purcell Pavilion. For more, we send it to Dara.
Thanks, guys. As we know, October is such an important month, and we can see pink everywhere throughout Purcell Pavilion. But our spotlight for tonight is on Notre Dame's Lucy Trump, whose mother, Jessie, is a 2-time breast cancer survivor. And Salima Rockwell told me the other day that last year was a bit of an emotional struggle for Lucy. But she gave all the credit in the world to her team for creating this safe space where everybody can be vulnerable, especially Lucy. And over the course of time, with that emotional support from the team, Lucy was able to shift her mindset to a I want to do something about it mentality. And that's exactly how she's been playing, especially tonight with 10 kills and 8 digs already. She said her mom is her biggest motivation, and because of this, Lucy is now so much tougher during difficult moments, guys.
It's one of those touching stories within sports, and look at it, called it her why she plays, and see the pink here tonight. It's got to be a touching experience for her.
Oh, no question, and she certainly treated like it with her play, and mentality is just everything for Lucy Trump. So fascinating to watch her growth, not just on the volleyball court with the way she has developed her skills, but how she has matured and grown as an individual and a person, a human being here in South Bend on this campus. It can be tough at times to show up and do your thing on the volleyball court every single day in practice, in training, and watching film, and of course, showing up to play the games. But when you have that driving factor and you remember every single day why you're showing up to do this, it's such a huge difference, and it's showing for Lucy Trump.
Trump has a kill of her own. Lucy Trump leads the team now with 11 kills. Hitting at a .318 percentage. Hatch sends it out of bounds. Irish back within one, and only fitting for Lucy Trump to have the night tonight, with Coach Shannon Wells calling a timeout, talk things over, wants to try and stiff arm Notre Dame away.
Lucy Trump already approaching season high territory in kills. 14 is the number to watch for her. She's at 11 right now, that .318 hitting percentage, like you said, 8 digs to go with it. She's been the entire package tonight for Notre Dame, and with this being a 1-point game, look for her and Ava Lang, who's gotten very silent in this second set in the attack. Can she reawaken on the outside for the Irish here and push them to the finish line? But Virginia has absorbed its mistakes in this one. It's made some service errors in particular. Hasn't been necessarily as sharp in the blocking and the attack, but it's found a way to hang on to the lead. Now it's just a matter of turning to players like Tatter and Young to get this thing across and even this matchup at 1 set apiece. It'll be interesting.
These two teams have been going back and forth all day long. Virginia, Coach Wells understands how big it would be to have it tied at 1 set apiece. You know, you're sticking around for at least 2 more if you get it, before you head down to Louisville for a Sunday contest. Palazzolo back off the timeout to serve for the Irish. Johnson sees the attack from Tatter. Hatched has it go out of bounds. Irish now back tied with Virginia.
Now it's a brand new game. 0-0, first to 5 gets it done. You gotta forget about everything that's happened so far and focus on being in that moment, like Coach Rockwell said in Chapel Hill.
Virginia tried to keep it alive, but it's Lucy Trump on the block to set it down. Coming into the game, Velasquez for Virginia on the quick subbing rotation. Drunick back to Trump, who has it quickly rejected at the net. Hatch now back to serve for Virginia. Hatch tonight with one service ace. Monson at the last second was waiting to see if it would go out of bounds and realized quickly it was dying and had to try and reach out for it. Palazzolo couldn't get the platform low enough. Now a timeout from Coach Rockwell. Virginia is 2 away from taking set 2.
I really think Sierra Hecht has been the MVP of this second set for the Cavaliers. Earlier on, she went back to the service line and didn't collect any aces, but you could tell that Ava Lang on that left side for her name was having a bit of a harder time receiving. The passes weren't exactly where they needed to be from her, and as a result, Virginia picked up some points in quick succession to build up that 3-point lead, and now here she is again. That ball's dying quickly. Notre Dame across the board having a difficult time reading it. And sometimes that's all it takes to go up by 2 this late in the match.
For Virginia, they welcome back Abby Tatter, who we mentioned in the open, and her presence tonight has been spectacular.
She is a major difference maker for Virginia. 8 kills, 4 blocks on the night. And again, one of those players where you miss so sorely in a close match like Georgia Tech, where you just don't have that final push, those final differences from a key player like Tatter to get you over the hump. And with what she's done tonight and the .538 hitting percentage, the efficiency is really her calling card going back to day 1 of this season. That is her style. That is her identity, and it is showing up in full force tonight in South Bend. Now can her teammates provide the support necessary to make her numbers count and her impact really count tonight at Notre Dame?
That's what Coach Wells talked about. For Virginia to have a chance tonight, they need to have a diverse offense. You can't be one-dimensional for them. While Tatter's leading the way, you also have Jan behind her with 5 kills of her own, along with Wilson with 5. So right now, that's what Virginia has been doing so well. That serves it into the net. Monson out of the service line, and will it be those errors to cost Virginia? Gamillion has to come in diving on the miscommunication. Monson lays out on the other side. Drunick up to Lang, sneaks it in front of the back line. We're back tied at 23.
Another athletic set right there from Drunick, able to contort her body in so many different ways and make the plays necessary and set up her teammates from every angle. At times she was moving away from the net, but put Lang in perfect position to capitalize. And how about Notre Dame? Again, embracing that moment. You move Hecht off the service line with her error, and you tie it up right away.
For Lucy Trump, it's been a night you would want to remember. Leading the way with 11 kills and 8 digs. Using her Y tonight in the gym.
Look at the numbers per match this season. Now, this is not to say that Lucy Trump cannot achieve 11 kills. It's more of a byproduct of the role she's embraced and taken on with players like Palazzolo and Lang coming in for Notre Dame. Lucy Trump, the onus has not been as much on her this season. She was a starter for much of last season, her freshman year, such a key part of that Notre Dame team a year ago, but now she has help, doesn't have to shoulder as much of the offensive burden. And that's the result of those numbers, but she still absolutely has the skill set and the capabilities to lead this offense. She's doing it tonight in a big game for her personally.
Yeah, last year as a freshman led the team with 253 kills, good for 2.83 kills percent. here in her sophomore season, taking a little bit more of a helper role like we talk about with Sydney Palazzolo, being that focal point, but tonight being a star in her own right. All timeouts are exhausted between both teams. We're tied at 23. Let's see who wins this second set. UVA able to pick up the point. They now sit at set point. Virginia's libero Gamillion steps up to serve. Drunick to Trump. Borum. Palazzolo has it go out of bounds, and the Cavaliers take set 2.
Focus on fixing them, obviously, but think about, hey, we got the job done and we can continue doing so.
Palazzolo. Dowell gets it across. Tatter sets it down. And right on cue, along with Borum able to get in and be involved. Drunick behind the back to Palazzolo. Times it beautifully over the block.
Ideal way to start right there for Notre Dame. Could use a little bit more out of Sydney Palazzolo. Just 4 kills in the first 2 sets, well below her average for this season, her lofty average. Not easy to live up to that every single night, but the Irish and Palazzolo know she can do it.
Irish back to the service line with Sydney Palazzolo, who you talk about her attack, with leading the conference just over 4 kills per set. Also dominant on the service line with Trump with a one-handed, gets it across.
Is she confident or what right now? That was one of the sharpest reaction plays we've seen tonight. Virginia rotating over to the far side of the court and swinging it back toward the near side where Trump's in the middle, and she sees, hey, everybody's migrated over to that far side. I'm just gonna leave it where they've departed, and she picks up another kill.
Palazzolo on the service run. Olsen can't get it over the net. Irish now 4-5-0 scoring run, and a timeout quickly from Shannon Wells. Irish come out firing. They lead by 4.
The main one earlier, Virginia had a chance to go up against Georgia Tech, competed closely with them. Both teams trying to prove themselves and distinguish themselves from other teams in the middle of that pack in the ACC with some resume-building wins.
Irish continuing where they left off through the media timeout. Borum has it set down by Charity McDowell.
McDowell provides the roof on the attack and lifts the roof off this building. The crowd is going crazy here in South Bend. She's firing up her teammates, and Virginia having all sorts of troubles in the attack to open up the third.
7-0 scoring run for the Irish. That's ended there through Abby Tatter, who's able to get a kill. Finally plugged the hole for the Cavaliers. Yeah, it's a service error to get the Irish back leading. Borum gets it across. Palazzolo lays out for it. Borum works it through. Drunick up to Trump. Monson passes to Lang. Has it set. Palazzolo up to the freshman. And Ava Lang re-enters the conversation here in the third set.
All right, great call right there, re-entering the conversation. The conversation's pretty loud right now for Notre Dame. 9-2 lead, timeout UVA. Irish coming out in full throttle mode here in the third set.
Wells using both of her timeouts here in this third set. It's a bold strategy to use your timeout and burn them that quickly.
Yeah, but you have to recognize at some point that it's now or never right now. Virginia is in make or break time, and you have to try and pull your weight back into the set before it slips away too much. And Notre Dame has that attacking sense right now. Has an idea that Virginia might be a little bit out of sorts, and there are things to capitalize on. UVA needs to try and erase those with Coach Wells working on some problems sooner rather than later. Don't want to hang on to those timeouts and run yourself right out of the match in this third set.
Big opportunity. I always talk about when you get that second set banked, that's huge for the momentum that it fully swings to your side on the pendulum, and shows like Coach Wells understands how important this set is to try and get back into breathing distance.
No kidding, no kidding. It's important at all times, but especially early on like this. Notre Dame has all the momentum right now. This is certainly the most energetic this place has felt tonight, aside from when the Irish won the first set. And Virginia's got to find a way to settle themselves down, avoid these errors in the attack and service. They've really started to pile up in the second and third set. You know, we talk about coming in, Virginia's ability to force errors from the opposition. It's been Notre Dame doing that on the counter and taking advantage of those UVA mistakes. Cavaliers have some things to clean up, but a lot of time left.
Borum has it sneak in by the line judge. Virginia. Back in after the timeout. Able to go on the attack, but first, got to tie the shoes, got to make sure the bunny goes through the hole. He gets it across. Drunick up to Tarnoff and makes no mistake.
Great combination right there between Drunick and Tarnoff. Drunick setting it low. Palazzolo, rather, Tarnoff recognizing it, getting to the ball quickly and wasting a little time. No chance for Virginia to organize on the defensive side, and the Irish have hit 10.
Borum gets it over the blockers, and Virginia, after the timeout, starting to show a little bit of life on the attack.
Yep. Just takes small steps this early in the match. You don't have to get it all back right away. Just find a couple runs. Take advantage of the openings in Notre Dame when they present themselves.
Drunick gets it over somehow. Has it set down. Lang just gets it across. Down in motion. Finds the opening. Cavaliers back within 5 of the Irish. Lang has it go the Irish's way. Off a little deflection. Quickly, as soon as she's off the court. So you gotta love Coach Shalima Rockwell in her coaching. Talking to her player. As soon as they come off, have a quick combo, send her to the bench. Understand she's gotta get back into rotation. And Aitzis with the service ace. Her second of the day. Drunick up to Trump. Tried to be dug out, but Lucy Trump flying with the hammer.
Just too much power behind that swing tonight for Lucy Trump. Notre Dame, another impressive scoring run. And Trump with 13 kills, closing in on that season high she set back in August.
Drunick up to Palazzolo. Goes out of bounds. The Cavaliers. On gets it across. Drunick dumps it off herself and catches Virginia sleeping. Alexander gets it across. Drunick up to Palazzolo. Palazzolo able to get the Irish to point on the deflection.
Again, Notre Dame worried about a potential deflection right there. There was some hesitation in the call, and you could visually feel the exhale from Salima Rockwell. But again, that point is all Nicole Drunick and her ability to be mobile in the set and locate Sydney Palazzolo moving down that left side of the court and set her up for the kill.
Chameleon chases it down. Drunick, McDowell. Tatter works it through the block of McDowell. Irish leading by 8 here in set 3. After that second timeout, while the score reflects the heavy lead, it's been a hard fought back and forth right now between these both teams, reminiscent of the first two. Trump goes searching for it. Has it go out of bounds? Look at that, our own sideline reporter.
One-handed catch from Dara.
Whoa.
I forget it, I need one hand on that, that's all. I'm using the left hand, I'm making a play. Of course, she knows all about handling the basketball herself, and her hands were perfect on that one.
She's the athlete of the group, right?
Oh, no question, no question. If there's anyone to react to a play like that with the ball headed our way, it's her, not us.
Trump sneaks it in and over, has it rejected with McDowell sitting it down.
McDowell, the player we didn't talk about a whole lot there in the first two sets, but she has come up with a couple really big blocks. 3 of them now on the night, leading Notre Dame.
Miscue, Cavacho, and Irish send Nicole Drunick, their captain, to the service line. And Nicole, a graduate transfer, her 3rd stop on her volleyball journey. Palazzolo has the opportunity and says, not in my house.
Wow, that was authoritative. Look at that, free ball coming. Palazzolo ends it real fast. Quick swing of the right arm, Virginia out of sorts. 7 each, kills and digs for Palazzolo, and Notre Dame is rolling in set number 3.
Lee down to an E. Drunick up to Palazzolo. Trump on the deflection. It is all Notre Dame in this third set. They have grabbed the wheel, and they're in cruise control.
Lucy Trump, not a bad player to have at the controls right now. She steered Notre Dame in the right direction. 14 kills, 13 digs, 2 blocks, what a night.
UVA is able to respond. Try and create some momentum of their own. Coach Wells preaching to her team, fighting for every point. Part of the team's identity. McDowell works it off of Tatter's forearm. Irish within 5. Trump takes the opportunity. The free ball over the net goes to the sophomore.
Wow, Notre Dame is not waiting around right now. Saw Palazzolo do it just moments ago, and then Lucy Trump setting the season high outright with 15 kills on the free ball.
Junick behind the back to who else but Lucy Trump. Has it go the Irish's way. Notre Dame within 3 now of capturing set number 3. Tatter has it blocked at the net by Charity McDowell.
Well, you said it. Notre Dame is not just taking the wheel in this third set. They have put their foot on the gas. Pedal to the metal, flooring it against Virginia right now, and the Cavaliers just have to find a way to regroup, but this is not the time for it as Notre Dame's a point away.
Lang on the deflection. Notre Dame at set point.
Welcome to the double-digit kill club, Ava Lang. That's her 10th.
Service error for Palazzolo. Gives Virginia the opportunity to make something happen with the ball in their hands. After Mountain with the Irish 1 point away. Anything now for the Cavaliers is building that momentum, which will be a decisive 4th set for the Cavaliers. And McDowell doesn't wait around to see if it can happen.
Palazzolo is coming alive again. That's the last thing Virginia wants to hear. UVA just late to develop the block over on that left side, and Palazzolo is not going to wait around.
UVA sneaking a point. Get some offense, and Kate Johnson doing something that Coach Shannon Wells talked about, was physical touch. Part of someone she talked about who bought into her culture, and Coach Wells discussed how physical touch leads to team chemistry, leads to that bond, and see Johnson comes in, takes a little extra to get that serve across because she comes in contact with every player as soon as she touches the court.
That's a great point, and it was something that I was really interested to hear from Coach Wells, because it's one thing to talk about establishing that culture and talk about how you want to do it, but when you can think about and analyze and provide those actual tangible moments where that culture is playing out on the court, whether it's putting your toes in on a huddle or having those moments of physical touch or just high fives or interacting with your teammates, that's such a big difference when you can tell your team, hey, this is exactly how we want to do it, and this is how we're going to thrive as a team.
Thriving here in set 4, leading by 2. Johnson, someone who's bought all in on Coach Wells' program and identity of this team. Wilson gets it across, UVA in charge, leading by 3, trying to get the sour taste set 3 out of their mouth. Service error gets it back over to the Irish to bring Hattie Monson, the libero, to the line. And she gets it across. Trueblood tried to get it to Tatter, just too far out of her reach. Lang has the free ball and takes it and cashes in.
Notre Dame's handling of the free ball has been so impressive tonight, whether it's Trump or Palazzolo or Lang. The Irish aren't trying to block the ball and setting it straight down. They're taking full swings and confidently reacting and earning points as a result.
Palazzolo with the full swing of her own gets the Irish back in front. Trueblood up to Wilson. Chloe Wilson, our 8th kill of the day. Second on the team behind Tatter's 13. Notre Dame men's soccer able to capture a win over the Hokies, winning 1-0. A big ACC clash on this Friday night on the pitch. 5th conference win, that's a big one.
Yeah, Irish are still in complete control of their destiny. You don't lose the remaining now 2 ACC games. Notre Dame's going to be the #1 seed in the ACC tournament, but a big one coming up next Friday at Wake Forest. Team trying to chase them down for that 1 seed.
Trump able to take advantage, get the point for the Irish. Trump with the service ace. Everything's coming up, Trump.
Emphasis on everything. The kills, the digs, the blocks, and now that's her first service ace.
Irish able to grab the point as it went out of bounds. And Wilson tried to go cross court, couldn't get there in time. It's gonna be a timeout here for Coach Wells. Irish leading by 4. It's all back here inside Purcell Pavilion. Irish leading by 4. It was a dominating 3rd set for the Irish. Dara Mabry has more.
Guys, Notre Dame just so dominant in this 3rd set and carrying it into the 4th. Everyone has gotten in on the action. You saw some hits from McDowell, and Palazzolo looks back alive again. I listened in on their huddle, and their associate head coach, Craig Dyer, was telling them, be more level on your blocks instead of so high. And that's exactly what we've seen from them. And it looks like they're about to close this one out. Palazzolo's leadership is coming alive again, and I heard Ava Lang even get in on there and say, this is Notre Dame volleyball. Let's keep playing scrappy and take it 1 possession at a time. And guys, I'm confident that that's what we've been seeing from Notre Dame.
Thank you so much, Dara. Lang gets a fist on it. Comes in diving. Is Johnson, and Irish able to pick up a point and talk to Coach Rockwell, and something she discussed with us was how everyone, whether you're a freshman to a graduate student, can speak in those player-led huddles, and it's an exhibit right there with Dara getting her ear in there to see Ava Lang, the freshman, being vocal within that team.
Yeah, so great having Dara here to bring us that perspective, but you're exactly right. Every single player on this court, forget about on an individual team, as Notre Dame picks up the ace again with Lucy Trump. Irish have players coming in from all kinds of different volleyball backgrounds. They have different experiences here as student athletes at Notre Dame. They'll have something different to say. And one thing you hear from one of your teammates can make you think about the game differently, and that's so valuable.
For the Irish, they have a strong couple ACC opponents, a big one with number 8 in ACC leading Pitt Panthers in town on Sunday. You can catch that here on ACC Network Extras, along with some big games in Blacksburg and Winston-Salem.
This is a very important part of the schedule. I mean, forget about the teams you're playing, just the timing right now, because this is going to take you to the end of October and into the start of November, and this is a time where you want to say, okay, we've played 3 weeks of ACC volleyball. We know a pretty good amount about how we can compete, where we stand with these teams. Now it's about making that transition to playing the type of volleyball you want to be playing in the biggest part of the season, November and maybe into December.
Flipping to the other side for Virginia, they've got a tough one in Louisville and Pitt back-to-back.
Longest road trip of the year, and like you said, it's offering no mercy. Louisville on the road Sunday. We talked with head coach for Virginia about that. It's tough to get, Coach Wells, tough to get tickets in there, even with how close that is to her former college in Southern Indiana. Then going on the road to Pitt, another difficult top 10 team. It gets no easier after Notre Dame. You got to get right back on the saddle. And that Pitt game being a Wednesday game too. That's not next weekend. That's 3 days after Louisville. You're talking about 3 tough road tests in a matter of 5 days here.
Got to stay on the road for her team. Lucy Trump looks to stay hot. She gets it over. Vermillion goes sliding and can't get it. It's another ace for Lucy Trump. Arthurs don't write these stories.
Exactly right. Can't make it up. 4 aces now. I believe 3 in this 4th set alone. Just willing Notre Dame to make a final push right here. Oh, come on.
Another one. Lucy Trump having a night of her life.
Preposterous what she's doing right now. 5 aces, 16 kills, 13 digs. We've got another career or season high to check up on here all of a sudden.
Trueblood able to get it up to Jan. Flip the script to get Virginia into control.
So it's a season high with the 5 service aces for Trump. Needs 1 more to tie her career high, which she set last season as a freshman against Old Dominion.
Velasquez gets it across. Drunek has a joust at the net. Lang off the deflection. Borum goes laying out for it. Quickly, Bowie to Lang. Vermillion and Borum go colliding into each other. Manitsis comes back into the game for the dual platoon system for the 2 freshmen. Trueblood has it blocked at the net by Palazzolo. Manitsis gets it over the net. Jan in motion. Trump trying to go lay out for it, couldn't get there. And Virginia 9 points away from the Irish. Now it looks like appears to be a subbing issue at the counter. For subbing rotation, they'll bring back in Hack. After Robert Kyle was called over to the scorer's table. service error goes Irish's way. Notre Dame brings in the service specialist herself, Macy Alexander. Some more subbing coming in for the Cavaliers.
I can see why Virginia would have a little bit of confusion. The Cavaliers certainly used the full extent of their bench. 6 more players on the Virginia side than on the Notre Dame side, depth-wise, being used tonight.
Lee up to Vaughn, and quickly the subbing pays off. Get a kill, get a point. Try and route a comeback. UVA picks up the point on the double touch. Addison Morey, senior defensive specialist, now in to serve. Needs this, down to a squat. Trump gets it across. Hatch gets it over. Monson goes chasing for it. Drunick from the back line up to Palazzolo. Lee couldn't get 2 hands on it. Notre Dame in firm grasp of this 4th set. They're going to ask for a little cleanup. Want to make sure all that sweat's off the ground. Benitez goes running for it, up to Monson, so get it across. Lee to Borum, has it go out of bounds, and Notre Dame having itself a night.
Yeah, how about those last 2 points? Notre Dame looked dead to rights on both of them, and you got Monson and Benitez chasing Virginia attacks down and just finding ways to keep the play alive. Sometimes that is all it takes. And Notre Dame continues to just manufacture points as Palazzolo might be leaking just a little bit there with the nose. She's got a big smile though, good to see. Not sure what got her there.
Athletic training staff.
Oh, yeah, there's some blood on that tissue for sure.
Coach Rockwell talking to the officiating crew here, with Coach Shannon Wells taking the opportunity to talk over with her team.
So this is what happened to Palazzolo, left side of the screen. Oh, it's the ball. Oh, wow, that's a
direct shot.
Yeah, that's a tough one right there for Sydney. Glad she was able to smile it off, but hey, it kept the play alive, I suppose. Benitez just got back there for it, and fortunately, Palazzolo no worse for the wear, as the Irish will continue to refine that clog up the left nostril.
She's got a big smile on her face. Play still stops. She's gonna come running back out.
It's like Scott Sterling, yeah, isn't it? And she's ready to go. How about it?
Comes back in, quick cleanup. We're ready to go. After the stoppage in play, Cole Drunick finally ready to get the serve across. Drunick tried to come in sliding at the last second, to no avail. Now for the Cavaliers, within 9, feels like it could be striking distance if they go on a hot streak.
Gotta hurry though. Virginia, only way you can do it is by cleaning up the service issues. Got to take advantage right now of this opportunity to start the play up, start the rally, and make something happen with it, but not here.
Palazzolo goes cross court for the opening. Palazzolo will come on out after the rotation. She'll go on back as, see the bench, they're happy. Get a big smile out of her. Staying in there for as long as she did. Haley Dockery in for the junior. Irish picking up a point. Goes out of bounds. Dockery. Trueblood up to Tatter. Can't get it over the net. Notre Dame within 3. Dockery gets it across. Wilson gets it across. Monson goes laying out for it. Trump comes in for the hard swing and gets it.
Trump continuing her magnificent night for the Irish. Up to 17 kills now. Notre Dame closing in. 2 points away now. And again, a dominant fourth set. Hasn't had the same feel to it entirely, with Virginia trying to keep up, staying within 10, but Notre Dame has pulled away late once more.
Monson up to Drunick. Lang finds the opening. Notre Dame in match point. Trueblood. Monson up to Drunick. Behind the back to Lucy Trump. The sophomore on a night who says it's her why. Comes out and has a perfected night.